Hello. Welcome to another video. Today we are flying from the Dominican Republic to Haiti. And we'll be using the PC-12 following on. Look at how beautiful that looks. It is early morning right now in the Dominican Republic. Today's flight is not that very long. On our way, if we are lucky, we can catch a glimpse of Cathedral. I believe it's Notre Dame, Cathedral of Our Lady at Cap Haitien. If I'm not completely butchering everything I just said, but ladies and gentlemen, look at how beautiful we look. Early morning, right? Here in the Dominican Republic. We're in the walk around mode. I've removed all of the chalks and the bells and whistles and all that stuff. All removed. So without further delay, let's hop on into the aircraft and let's get this party started. All right. Let us see. Oh, there it is. My bad. We'll get it in right there. We'll also go through today's route fairly quickly. Okay, first things first, let's get our aircraft started up here. Oh, I believe I have certain settings switched off. Give me just a second while I turn that on. I just had my DLSS off. I just decided to turn that on for better frame rates and stuff, you know. Anyway. Battery on, battery 2 on, external power on. We can turn on the avionics bus 1, standby bus, and avionics bus here 2 on as well. We can arm that. We can turn on the passenger signs. We can turn on nav lights. We can go ahead and turn on our recognition lights. We can turn on our beacon lights because we're about to start our engines. Ignition and fuel pumps up. Let's put our engine to run. Press the start. There we go. It's happening. Oxygen can come on. Pitot probe heats can go on. Barometric pressure to the local pressure. Today is 29.91. That's okay. Altitude for today's flight. What are we using? Let's use 15,000 as the initial planned. Let's use manual control of the speed here. We'll go directly to 200 knots here, not wasting any time. Perfect. Engine starting up. Looking lovely. Very, very beautiful. Okay. Let's head back in here. Ignition can come back to automatic, fuel pumps automatic, and that pretty much does it. Taxi lights on, please. For some reason, this screen has not come to life yet. Oh, generator 1 and 2 on as well. That is the reason why. Let's drop our flaps in advance here. While we do all of this, how much fuel do we have today? Yeah, I think we have enough fuel. We might refuel right before we take off. Who knows? Let's go towards our little FMS here. Let's look at a plan for the day. Okay. So I'm going to open up little nav map and show you guys what we have planned for the day. Here we are at Gregorio Luperon International. We're parked right here. That's us, the little bird. We're going to take off from runway 08 because that's where the direction of the wind is supposed to be. Right now it shows no wind. Okay, not a problem. And then we're going to land into Haiti. So we're taking off in Dominican Republic here, coming into Haiti, Cap Haitien. This waypoint right here, which we won't be able to program in, is where the cathedral is. So hopefully we'll fly in this way and we will swoop down this way between these two mountains for us to fly into Cap Haitien International using runway 05. Brilliant. That is our flight plan for the day. Let's go ahead and program that in, shall we? MDPP is the origin. What is the destination code? MTCH. Let's go ahead. MTCH. Okay, there's no alternate that we're using for today. Activate that, please. Let's have a look. Okay, there we go. We have the right thing showing up. Let me just I can tell that you guys can't really see what's going on right now, right? So let me move a little nav map for the time being. Hopefully that'll help you guys. But we do need it nonetheless, because we have some custom waypoints that we need to input. So I'm going to be inputting them right about here. You guys won't be able to see it, unfortunately. We're gonna go amend route and we're gonna insert the waypoints here. Okay, so I'm gonna bring up little nav map and I'm gonna hide that for you guys for the time being while I input the waypoints. So since there's no departure available by default out of this airport, I'm gonna set my own custom waypoints here to make our departure a little more scenic and a little easier for us to make the sweeping curve to the other side. Okay, so we gotta go this way. All right, PP-355. I'm gonna input that, enter. Then I'm gonna go PP-330. Then we're gonna go PP-356. Okay, then we're going to go Kepda. Following Kepda, we'll go on to PP-314. Following that, we shall go on to Bemel. Then we shall move on towards PP-310. All right. And then we shall head on towards Avaso. Beautiful. Followed by CH542. Oh, unfortunately that is wrong there. Don't think that's where we're going. CH542. So we're gonna activate this and then we're gonna delete this CH542 because unfortunately from Avaso I'm not getting the CH542 that I want. Okay, so we'll go directly to CH521 instead from Avaso. CH521. Perfect. Then we'll go on towards CH409. 409. There we go. Which one? This one? Insert. Correct. And then we've got, what do we have left? After that we just need to go directly towards our arrival for the day. Okay, so we'll activate this. Okay, let's go and select our altitude for the day is 15,000 currently. Fuel and weight, we're gonna leave it exactly the way it is. I'm not gonna mess with this right now. Send standard instrument departure not available. And then let's come here. Let's see what arrival we're taking into Haiti, basically. So we're gonna use the RNAV arrival into runway 05. Let's use RNAV Y here. Okay, R05. There's no transition that we're using, right? So we're just gonna insert this. Let's have a look at if this is the right one here or not. Yes, it appears to be the right one. Let me activate that. Let's get rid of any discontinuities right here. One here, delete that please. Activate. Should we have one more discontinuity somewhere, or we don't? Okay, all right. Alrighty, that means that we're pretty much done for the flight plan for the day. Yep, that means we are done with the flight plan for the day. Unfortunately, it's so far that we can't really take a look at it this, and I don't know how to move through the waypoints, unfortunately. But anyway, we'll figure it out as it comes, right? Anything else we need to do? Anything else we need to do? We can send that. 85 at VR. Great. Okay, that means we are pretty much ready to take off. I don't know why our auto throttle went down again. Let's go up to 200 knots here. That's what I want. Perfect. Heading sync it, please. We've got nav mode. Can turn on the nav mode for the time being, can't we? Let's reduce the range on that, just to make sure we're actually following it. Okay, brilliant. So let's go ahead and taxi on to the correct runway here, runway 08, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, perfect. Beautiful. The sun is rising behind us. The sun is rising behind us. Beautiful airport, this one. It's a star airport, so we could have a look at it really quickly here. There isn't much to look at in the way of buildings and stuff, but it is a handcrafted airport in MSFS 2024. As you can see, it is a fairly beautiful airstrip. It's got the buildings well modeled inside as well. Look at that. It's got modeled buildings on the inside. Fun little place to fly into in the Dominican Republic if you're ever looking to fly here. Look at that. Not so bad at all. Puerto Plata duty free. Very nice little well modeled airport, considering it's already included. It's well modeled, right? And yeah, that is pretty much it. It's nothing else to remark about. That's pretty much it. And I realized we don't have traffic injection on, so give me a second while I turn that on. Alright, I've turned on the traffic injection. Perfect. Very well. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any traffic here at the moment for some reason. Yeah, I don't think there is. Can double check that. Yeah, there isn't any. For some reason, there isn't. Oh, there's something. There's a WestJet here. It's a Boeing 737, I believe. Anyway, let's head on back into the cockpit and let's taxi out to our runway, right? So release parking brake. And we are on our way, ladies and gentlemen. Ready for takeoff pretty much, apart from the lights that we need to set up. Taxi isn't too long here today. And yeah, hopefully we'll have a lovely little flying time. There it is. This aircraft is so slippery. Oh, can we reach the end? Yes, we can. Okay. So we'll take this taxiway. We'll continue on this. And then we'll make a turn. Taxi down the runway. Turn around at the end. And we've got ourselves ready for takeoff. There it is. Beautiful scenes here. Lovely. Get on back in there. I like this taxi. Look at that. I love these tall trees that we're surrounded by. Vegetation is really good in 2024. At least something is good in 2024. Okay, taxiing at 40 knots in typical fashion here. Well, typical fashion for me. I really ought to not do that. But okay, here we go. Luckily for us, the PC-12 is very easy to taxi. We are about... How much runway do we even have? We've got about 10,000 feet, actually. Yeah, we've got about 10,000. No, yeah, we've got 10,000 feet. We've got, I believe we've got 10,000 feet available. Yeah, it's an international airport, so makes sense. And the runway looks very good. It does look very good, especially with the enhanced airport graphics that I have installed, I believe, with all the cracks on the runway and everything. It looks very decent. It looks quite realistic. All right, let's track ourselves down this runway and then turn around when we are ready, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful. Look at that. All right, here we are. We have turned around more or less quite unprofessionally here. But here we are. And let's hit the brakes for a second here. Let's turn on our lights appropriately. Taxi lights were all okay, they were on. Let's turn on our landing lights. Let's put our pulse recognition lights to pulse. Let's turn on our strobe lights, and that is pretty much it for takeoff. Okay, we're pretty much ready for takeoff here. I don't think we need to worry about fuel. I think we've got plenty of fuel for today's journey. Otherwise, we'll find out along the way. Hey, keep things interesting. Okay, with that, let's go ahead and take off here. Our autopilot is set, everything is set, brilliant. Release parking brakes, open up throttle, takeoff power set. Here we go. Nice. Okay, beautiful. Okay, we've got VR more or less. Okay, positive rate, gear up. There we are, flying out of this beautiful Gregorio International. Not very large for an international airport, but we're heading directly for the sun. Looking very, very nice here. Beautiful. Lovely. Lovely. Okay, let's put up our flaps now. We don't really need them. One last look at our airport here. Beautiful. Wow. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, let's go ahead and turn on our autopilot here. Let's ask for flight level change and let's turn on our auto throttle if we can. Okay, for that we need to actually put our... There we go. Now let's turn on auto throttle. There we go. Brilliant. Let's push that speed up to about 200 knots. And we seem to be doing what we need to, right? Nav is caught successfully. Everything is looking good here. Aircraft is cleaned up. We don't need to do anything else pretty much. Just need to turn off our landing lights when we feel like it. Besides that, we are looking good, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Up and out of the Dominican Republic. It is this area is part of the world is very, very lovely. Very, very lovely to say the least. Let's see. What is our passenger seeing? Very, very calm waters underneath right there. The cabin view. Let's go to the other side. Well, the wing is very high up in the air at the moment, so we'll be able to see a bit of land. There it is, coming up on top. As we turn around towards Haiti. Flying on towards Haiti. Okay. There we go. Lovely. Okay. We are climbing out here. Is there anything else we need to do? Let's actually increase our range here. There it is. 15,000 feet is what we want to be at as our cruising altitude for the day. Let's see if that's too high for today. I don't think it is, but we'll find out soon enough. Anyway, everything else is looking in order. No messages or displays for us to worry about at the moment. And yeah, looking good. Looking good. We can go ahead and turn off the landing lights. Doesn't really matter. Can turn off the landing lights right now. Can leave everything else on. Can also turn off the seatbelt sign if we like. We'll leave on the no smoking light. Compare fuel quantity. All right, we're all right. Although we're burning a heavy amount of fuel, I believe 600. Well, we are on full throttle because we're doing a flight level change. But look at that out our left side. Look at that. Beautiful scenes. The coastline looks so beautiful. The water, look at that. We'll take a closer look at it as we chug along here. Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. What a beautiful scene right there. The light reflecting off the clouds is really nice. There we go, the coastline looking absolutely stunning. There we go, we're making that turn. Haiti is towards the end of the island over there. That's where we're headed. Okay, beautiful. All right, let's now check out some views during our climb and cruise, and then I shall jump back into the cockpit as necessary. For now, let's check out some views, eh? Right, we have come somewhere near the top of descent, or at least indicated top of descent for this particular route. All right, let's look underneath us. What do we have here? Oh, I don't really recognize where exactly we are, to be honest. We still have a little more way to go here, and then we'll turn around. Hopefully we'll be able to catch a glimpse of the cathedral. Let's just have a look at a few more views here before we begin our descent. After we take a look at the views, we will begin our descent and see how that goes. I can't be entirely sure, but we are somewhere here is where we'll begin our approach pattern into Haiti. So let's go ahead and have a look at the final views before we begin our descent. Okay, we really should begin our descent here. Let's go down towards 5,000 feet. Actually, let's head down towards 4,000 feet right away. We'll request a flight level change at this point, and that should get us nosediving pretty much very, very quickly. While we do that, let's head on outside, see if we can catch a glimpse of that cathedral that I was talking about, which I don't think we'll be able to, unfortunately, in this flight. It is somewhere here, right? It's right somewhere here, and we're going behind it, as far as I'm concerned. So I'll try my best to see if we can catch a glimpse of it somewhere along the way. But at the moment, it is not looking like we'll be able to. Very, very unfortunate, but yeah. Okay, let us see what is going on in the cabin. Oh, that is a lovely view to fly into. Beautiful. Again, the PC-12 comes free with the simulator. It is included in MSFS 2024, but it is the only decent Pilatus that's actually in there. Do you say Pilatus or Pilatus? I don't know. PC-6 gave me issues, and the PC-24 is full of bugs. That's actually well known. So this is the only decent PC aircraft or Pilatus aircraft that we have available in 2024, and to be honest with you, it is quite fun to fly this thing. It is by no means, you know, study level or anything like that, but it is definitely fun to fly, and most things work, so that's great. That is great news for us. Anyway, let's see, what are we looking at right now? Our descent rate is 3,000. Check. altitude constraints. I'm not actually worried about today's altitude constraints, if I'm being honest with you. We're just gonna fly in here. We just need to be at 3,200 feet, somewhere near the beginning of our little approach pattern. Apart from that, there isn't much else to it. As a matter of fact, we can begin our descent directly towards 3,000 feet, like so. 3,200, like so. All right. We do need to slow down, but this aircraft, as fast as it is, well, it's not that fast. It doesn't have too many issues slowing down. Okay. Beautiful views. Let's see. So we'll be going behind this little mountain, if I'm correct. We'll be going behind this little mountain, like so, to perform our approach into the airport. The airport should be somewhere here. It should be somewhere right here, and somewhere along the way, underneath us, is supposed to be the cathedral, and the cathedral is supposed to come somewhere here. Not too sure if we'll be able to see it. Hopefully we will. Let's find out, eh? Let us find out. Okay, so that should be the turn that takes us towards, or at least near to, the cathedral. So we'll try and catch a glimpse of that as much as possible. Very, very nice. We are in Haiti. Are we in Haiti? Yeah, we are in Haiti. We crossed the border a while ago, just a little bit ago. As we began our descent, we crossed the border. We are now on the part of the island that is Haiti. Okay. Let us see. This. We can see some of the buildings up ahead of us. There they are. Oh, is that the cathedral? We're looking at the cathedral. Brilliant. Although it doesn't look that good from this far away and all the textures are terrible, but there is the cathedral right there. That is what we were trying to spot. Wow. Didn't think I was going to spot that easily, but there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Let us take a closer look as we fly over it. We're already reaching 3,000 feet. A little too quick here. Way too quick, if you ask me. We've reached 3,000 feet way too quickly. We're flying low here. But that's okay. Not too worried about it. Not too worried about it. It's a beautiful livery, this one, isn't it? Grayed out with some blue stripes. Looks good. The sun is still pretty much rising. And it's a short flight, as you can tell. Sun barely has moved position since we took off. So that's something. Looking good. Looking good. We are looking good. Sorry about that little stutter there. I was taking a screenshot for no reason. Okay, there is the cathedral somewhere there. It should be the... Where is it? Now we're failing to spot it. Now that we're this close, we're failing to spot it. How foolish is that? But it's somewhere here. It's supposed to be somewhere here. Oh my goodness, where is it? Can't see it. Can't see it. Ah, that sucks. Oh, there it is. Found it. There it is. There is the cathedral, looking beautiful. That looks lovely. I wish we could take a closer look, but maybe another day. That is the cathedral right there. Glad we spotted it. Heading back into the cockpit here. 3,200. We're pretty much ready at this point to begin our RNAV approach. So we've got nothing else to do at the moment. We're flying a little bit fast, but you know, 200 knots, that's okay. We can slow down towards... Okay, we should slow down now. We should slow down towards 170 knots, as dictated by the constraints that we have. And let us also begin... Let's input 2,600 feet into our autopilot here, because we need to begin that descent quickly. Okay, 100 and let's ask for 107 65 knots, that's good. And let's begin a flight level change down towards 2600 really. Okay, as a matter of fact, for the time being, let's remain at this altitude. For the time being, let's remain at this altitude. Okay. Here we are, beginning the turn between these mountains into this bay area. Look at how beautiful this looks. What is that? What is that underneath us? Ooh, a mini island there, and what is that underneath us? What is that? That is a strange looking thing in the sea. Are these like basically like sand and land that's underwater, but only barely? Because that looks cool. At the same time, I don't know exactly what I'm looking at. Nonetheless, we are slipping into this bay area with gentle hills, or rather almost mountains on either side. And nestled in there, round this corner like this, is the airport we're trying to land into. That is Cap Haitian. Cap Haitian International. If I'm not butchering that name, as I normally tend to do. Very well. Very well. Okay. Making that turn. We're looking good. We're looking good. We can begin our descent now. Down towards 2,600 feet. And we need to be quite quick here. Actually, as a matter of fact, we should take manual control. We should really take manual control and fly this in ourselves. Let's zoom in a little bit to help us get a better idea how we should fly it. There we go. Perfect. Perfecto. Perfecto. Okay, that is that. Sky dolly shall be running in just a little bit. Just a little bit. Next altitude we need to be at is actually 1,000 feet. So let's go ahead and select 1,000 feet here, but we will not command a descent just yet. We need to reduce our speed here as well slightly, or not yet. Let's decide. We'll decide that in a bit. We don't have visual of the airport, although I assume it should be somewhere here, eh? Should have been able to see it by now. But I can't see it yet. Is the airport tiny? Don't even know. Okay. We shall find out. I should ideally reduce my speed because it isn't a very long base leg here. It is not a very long final either. Okay, let's begin our flight level change here to 1,000 feet. Let's reduce our speed down here to... Yeah, let's reduce our speed right there. About 148 knots, somewhere there. Today I'll be landing with the controller, and I'm going to be skydolling, so we'll have landing replay. Perfect. Check altitude constrained. Yes, sir. We need to be at 1,000 feet, and that is what we're trying to do here. 1,019, if I'm correct. That is what we're trying to do here. We're heading down towards 1,000. I still have no visual of the airport, but it is looking really good here. Looking really good here. Okay. Let's head on outside just for one last time. Just one last time heading outside, and we still have no idea where the airport is, especially because we're flying into the sun. There's a lot of glare. A lot of sunlight in our face, and we can't see. Okay. 1,000 feet, that's great. I have no idea where on earth it is. I have no idea. We don't have a localizer today that we're using. I have no visuals. I'm just gonna do one thing that I can, and that is to drop the gear at the moment. There we go. Drop the flaps, drop the gear, just like so. Perfecto. Ah, there is the runway finally. Let me take manual control now. Brilliant, my aircraft. Let's slow this thing down, shall we? The auto throttle is way too fast. push that down here. Perfect. Auto throttle is working. Let me just make sure that the AP is gone off. Perfect. Coming in a little too high. That is okay. It's dropping our flaps immediately to 30. Dropping flaps to 40. We're pretty much ready now. Excellent. Now, what is our trim at? Because this trim is acting a little funny. Okay, we don't have issues with the trim, luckily. Perfect. Coming in a little high. Okay, let me try and pay attention now. Ooh. Coming in a little too fast for the landing, if you ask me. Oh, come on. Why are we going so fast? This auto throttle isn't the best in the world. It really isn't. Nonetheless, let's see. Okay, much better. Much better. Much better control here. Let's nick those trees on the way in. My god, this auto throttle. Okay. Coming in. Coming in. Okay. Why are we so floaty? Oh my god, we're so floaty. Okay. That is so unnecessarily floaty. We're not gonna even use reverse thrust today, or should we just give it a shot right there? There we go. We really don't need it, but there it is. Thrust back to idle. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have landed into Haiti. That was a very floaty landing. Very, very floaty landing. However, it tends to happen with this aircraft, and we have a very long runway, so not too much of an issue. Let's go ahead and turn off right here. Before we do, let's actually stop right about there. We'll take a look at our lights and stuff in a bit. Well, let's first have our landing replay and then we'll clean up the aircraft, right? As a matter of fact, let me put the flaps up now though. Put the flaps up here. This is supposed to be an international aircraft, an airport, sorry. But it has no traffic. No traffic that I'm seeing right now. Can turn and we can park it right there. Little bit of a crooked parking, but doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and take a look at our landing replay. Okay. Let's see how we landed for the day. There we go, first landing replay. Very floaty landing, I'm not very happy with that. The parking was also crooked, so, well, first time into Cap Haitian, so there's an excuse, but besides that, not a very good landing by any means, but, you know, it's alright. Let's see how we did. We are floating, and the aircraft just refuses to go down this thing. I think flaps 40 is just too much. Look at that, just so floaty. And there we go. Touchdown wasn't too bad though. That is our first landing replay. Let's have a look at some other views of our landing. Okay, let's take a look at the replay from the cabin. The vegetation is beautiful. Let's see. Let us see. Okay, that is not too bad. We'll have one more replay from the other side of the cabin, and then we shall go in and shut down the aircraft. All right, so let's have a look at the last landing replay. Here we are, the last landing replay, and it looks beautiful because we have the sun on our side. Very, very nice. Let's see how this went. It's not so bad from this view, eh? That is a lovely, lovely little landing replay. Okay, now let's go ahead and shut down our waiting aircraft at the parking. Then we shall call it here for the video. So let's just go ahead and shut down the aircraft now. Okay, here we are at the parking. Let's go ahead, jump on inside. What can we do? Let us... There we go. Off, engine off, external power. Oh, we had this on the whole time. We forgot to disconnect the external power. Doesn't matter. Doesn't affect anything. Avionics bus, standby bus. Avionics 2, disarmed. No smoking lights off. We forgot to turn on the seatbelt signs for the passengers, but that's okay. All that lights off. Beacon lights off. What else? Generators off. Battery, well, now it's just our flaps are cleaned up, everything else is cleaned up, looking good. Propellers are feathered, right? I assume so. It's auto feather anyway. Yep. Okay, batteries off, external power off, and nav lights off too. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We're done for the flight here. Welcome to Haiti. Hope you guys enjoyed that flight. Here we are in drone camera. Hope you guys really enjoyed that flight. I had a good time. It's a beautiful area of the world to fly into. And we are in a lovely little Cap Haitian. There we go. So I'm going to leave it here today. I'm going to leave it here today for this particular video. Leave a like. Please do consider subscribing, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye-bye.